Thank you very much for tuning into this video. I'm Sean Mercer along with my partner Patrick Jolliffe, and today Patrick is going to talk to you about company retirement plans. So if you are a business out there currently and you offer a 401k plan to your employees, this is going to be very, very valuable information for you today. And what we have always stated here at Jolliffe Capital, the two most important things a person can get in life is education and information. And we are a great resource for that, and we'll provide it for you completely for free. When it comes to retirement plans, there's been a lot of changes over the last 5 to 8 years, especially with the downturn that happened in the late 2000s. The Department of Labor is stepping up the fiduciary requirement of business owners concerning their retirement plans, and Patrick is going to discuss that and how we as a firm can benefit you and your company with your retirement plan. Patrick?
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. What we would like to help you understand today as it relates to retirement plans is very, very important. Retirement plans in general are generally governed by and regulated by the Department of Labor. And over the last few years, as Sean has alluded to prior, we had the market downturn that occurred in 2008 and 2009, and that got a lot of attention, particularly at the participant level. So I want to talk about the changes the Department of Labor has made and how that affects you as an employer. So let's define a couple of terms first. As an employer, you're referred to as the plan sponsor, okay? So the employer is equal to the plan sponsor, okay? And we're going to talk about in terms of a 401k, just because I think it's more common. All of these changes certainly apply across the board, but let's just keep it to a 401k today for the purposes of our discussion. So if you're an employer and you have a 401k, you're referred to as a plan sponsor. If you have that, then you also have the designation of being a fiduciary. In this case, what we mean by fiduciary is that you're now responsible for that plan and essentially the well-being of the 401k plan that you are providing to your employees. So before we get too much further, you never ever remove, as an employer, your fiduciary responsibility. You need to remember that. No one can remove that for you, okay? But since we're on that topic, when you work with Jolliffe Capital, we do take a contractual co-fiduciary role with our clients. Okay, so we're walking down the street together with regard to your fiduciary liability. We are, by definition, as a firm and as individuals, fiduciaries anyway. And that means the definition of fiduciary is that we are held accountable by law, as are you, to do the very, very best thing we can for our clients. We have to put our clients' interests first. You have to put your employees' interests first. So here's the rub. This is what's difficult. As it gets into the essence of the plans themselves, what we're finding is not only do the plan sponsors not have a good understanding of their plan, but it's why would you? It's not what you do. You know, you're making widgets. You're not interested in the retirement plan. And one of the things that I would like to caution everyone out there that's listening, that's a business owner, or if you happen to be a shareholder or an officer in a company that offers a retirement plan, then it's very likely that you could be in a fiduciary position. We want to help you understand the different types of things that you need to know should our friends at the Department of Labor show up on your doorstep and want to have a chat. So the first question that you need to be able to answer with regard to the company retirement plan is, what type of plan do you have? Well, what would most people say? They might say, I have a 401k plan. Great. What kind? We need to be able to answer that question, okay? Number two, what does it cost? how much does your plan cost? And not just the total cost or what it costs to administer the plan. Here are all the people that generally get involved and get paid with regard to 401k plans. Third-party administrator, the representative that's coming out there and selling or offering the plan or trying to help your employees, okay? The funds themselves in which you're investing, they're getting paid too, and there's a cost incurred with that. Any record keeping that's going on, there's a cost associated with that. You need to know how much each one is and who's getting paid and how it's being paid and by whom. Is the employer paying it or is the participant paying it? If the participant is paying it, how are they paying it and how often are they paying it and how much is it? Pretty simple so far. Yeah. How do your investments rank? Okay. Here's something that's real typical. Okay. We go in, we'll do a short audit just to have a look at the plan of an employer, and we look at their fund list, and they're all the same fund family. Okay. Now, not saying that that's bad. It's just in our experience as fiduciaries and in working with the Fiduciary Institute, it's very rare that one family would test out well across the board. Some of their funds may be better performance than others, and that just makes sense. So that's something that you need to be aware of as well. Now, here's a big one. With regard to number 3, who picks the investments? Why is that a big one? Well, it starts to get into the investment advisory area of the business. Now, our company is a registered investment advisor. Sean and I are investment advisor representatives of the firm. That means we are licensed to give investment advice. So, if you have an employee and you are working with our firm and they don't understand which investments to choose that are offered within the plan, they simply ask us and we're licensed to tell them. Now, horror story, okay? What we've found that can happen inside of a company is that you get the water cooler talk going on, and one employee might say to the employer or someone in position of authority at the firm, gosh, this 401k thing is just so confusing. I don't know which fund to pick, and we're all busy, and we all get in a hurry, and the plan fiduciary, somebody that's held at a fiduciary level on the retirement plan, says, just put it all in fund X, that's what I do. The problem with that is, if fund X does not perform well, then the employee can come back and would have a grievance, and it's possible that the fiduciary then would have to personally make up the difference if that fund lost. And so you do not want to be in a position of where you're giving investment advice. You need to be working with an investment advisor representative who's licensed to do that. Unfortunately, the majority of plan providers out there, not plan sponsors, but plan providers, like the large insurance companies, for example, and so forth, many of them have what are referred to as registered reps that are coming around that are making their money within the plan on commission. We understand that, but they will not, and they shouldn't, they will not give you investment advice because they're not licensed to do so, all right? So that's an important thing as well.
So really, Patrick, what differentiates our firm is that if you have an employee at your firm and they want investment advice, they can pick up the phone and give us a call, and we are more than happy to sit down with them and actually customize a plan for them moving forward while they're employed at your company.
That's exactly right. Then we get back to 2 and 3 and 4, really. Who monitors these things for you? You have a responsibility to do this, okay? So if you're in an employer that has a retirement plan, who's monitoring the fees, the expenses, the performance, and so forth of the retirement plan? Could you answer those questions if the Department of Labor came in and asked you those today? Do you have an investment policy statement? What in the world is that?
I would say that that's probably pretty important.
Okay, so the investment policy statement is really the blueprint of the house. So it's a protective type of document that outlines a number of things that are essential to the retirement plan at the firm. And so we want to make sure that you have an investment policy statement that covers all of the issues that need to be covered and answers the questions in light of the Department of Labor's rule changes that need to be answered. And so that you have this document, we can prepare that for you as well. So if you don't have that, if you can't flip around in your chair or know in your head if you're sitting at home while you're watching this, I know exactly where our investment policy statement is. I would suggest that you get in touch with us. You're under no obligation to move your plan to us. This is what we do. We would be able to be delighted to speak to you about these and other issues as you would have questions. And also, this is a big one. Communication. As important as all the rest. Right here. Okay? How are you going to communicate this information to your employees? Now that depends on your firm. You may be a 3-person firm, that's not so difficult. But what if you have 75 employees? It becomes a little bit difficult to run your company and understand all of this extremely interesting information and then disseminate that on a regular basis out to your employees. So we have a system in place that does that electronically. It's web-based. It's easy for our clients and their employees to be able to get in touch with us at any time during the day to get the advice and the help and the assistance that they need. And it's nice to be able to say, because remember I said we take a co-fiduciary role with you when we are servicing a retirement plan. We take that co-fiduciary role. Should you have a visit from the Department of Labor, then you pick up the phone, you say, come on over, we have a visitor, and here we come. And we get to answer the questions as it relates to the investments, the investment choices, the performance, the costs, and so forth. Okay?
I guess it kind of goes along with that other thing people don't like to go through, Patrick, which is an IRS audit. And if you have an accountant, your accountant will come with you and help you be able to answer those questions. It's sort of the same philosophy, correct?
It's very similar. I mean, it's a regulatory environment. Department of Labor is not trying to, all they're trying to do is to try and protect the employee, and this is a good thing. But with change comes, the responsibility of understanding that change, and that's what we do. So we want to help our clients be in a position to where they're going to be protected also, and you want to comply with these things. They're good things. And so it's about the employee. It's about having a positive experience. Let's think about it. You're offering a retirement plan. Why? Because you care about your employees and you want to enhance the work environment. You want them to stay there if they're good at what they do. And so these are one of the things that you like to do that makes you feel good. We certainly don't want it to come up and bite you and have something that you thought you were doing for the good of your employees turn out to be something that actually ended up being bad for you or your employees. Okay? So the final question is, if you had an audit today, who at your firm would be the person that would be sitting down with the Department of Labor representative and answering all of these questions regarding your retirement plan at work? If you'd like to talk about these kinds of things, if you'd like more information on this, we have a free report. Sean's going to show that to you. Complete the information on the website and we'll get that out to you. Otherwise, feel free to give us an email off the website or certainly give us a call. We're just here to help you. And thank you, by the way, for listening.
Yes, I personally would like to extend our sincerest thank you for you tuning into this video. And once again, as stated, we are about education and information, and we want to be a resource for you when it comes to company retirement plans. You can get a hold of us at 303-469-6273. Give our office a call and we'll be happy to get this information in your hands. This is a great brochure that will put in the questions that Patrick just went over with you, our Form ADV, and we'll be able to get that to you as soon as possible, because it's our goal to make sure that your company is thriving and your 401k plan is doing what it's supposed to for your employees. Once again, thank you very much and have a nice day.